Malgus is the new Mary Poppins, y'all! Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. We're in the plan, folks, which is used to be a weekly news segment video that I used to make weekly, if you can imagine. And we don't do it weekly anymore. Don't really have time in my schedule to be able to do that, but we can update it every once in a while. It's been a couple months, I believe, but there's a lot of news stuff that I haven't said anything about lately. We're going to talk about the new bundles that may or may not be coming, the C3PO madness with the raid. We're going to talk about Bo-Katan's release date, and when Jedi Cal's event is going to come back, it's going to be majestic. The Malgus footage especially, folks, it is completely off the hook. So before that, I want to say a huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. And guys, if you want to support this channel for free, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, comment, help me mount the algorithm. Guys, if we get to 20,000 by the end of the year, which is probably a little unlikely, but if we can get there, if we can manage, I will commit to getting some kind of little graphic at the bottom of my videos that just says mount the algorithm, so we don't have this particular page or graphic any longer. Let's do it, guys. Maybe? If that's not going to motivate you, I don't know what will. Let's talk about new characters. We'll softball it first, guys. So we're going to grade things just in the sense of I'm going to talk about them. I'm probably not going to be like, this gets an A. A minus. Probably not going to do that, guys. So softball, the very first one. What do I think of the new characters? I think they look cool. I think that Beck looks pretty amazing. He looks, I mean, he's like a Qui-Gon Jinn lifter, basically, right? You know, he's kind of, as far as I can tell, he's kind of like doing the Juhani thing of, you know, with Starkiller, but revitalizing a weird, like, off-Galactic Republic team in Territory Wars. We'll see how that all goes, but I do think that he's probably the most interesting right now. The others are kind of just an extension of whatever Bo-Katan Mandalore is gonna look like. She's gonna be good. We already know that she's gonna be awesome. Well, we already know that we think she's gonna be awesome. And these characters, their kits are complex. Paz especially looks so tanky, guys, and some people are saying the IG-12 is amazing, and I don't see it yet. I'm not saying that it's not good. I think that there's a good possibility that he's gonna be great, but I think we need to look at the kit for Bo-Katan first and see when that happens. You know, see what happens, because they're basically just extensions of her kit, right? It's just like Commander Ahsoka Tano, yeah, she's good in her own right, but she's kind of was just built to go with Kenobi, right? So kind of like that. Let's move right along. So Darth Bane was announced, which is kind of cool. You can see his picture. I guess I have 5 pictures. Gosh, the one right above my face, the scary one, I think that's just fan art. But then, let's see, the 2 top ones, the one on the one farthest from me, that's actually on the book for the Darth Bane series. It came out in the, like 2000, something like that. And it was decanonized once Disney bought Star Wars, so that's not canon anymore. Same with the version right above my face. But the one little mention of Darth Bane in canon, it was with the Clone Wars animated show, and Yoda was learning how to turn into a Force ghost. That was a weird arc, but there was one mention of how Darth Bane, he's the one who invented the rule of 2. So over the course of 1,000 years or whatever, maybe 10,000 years, maybe 1 billion years, who frickin' knows, but they were able to manage to conquer the Jedi and take over the galaxy for like 20 years, so that was totally worth all of their effort, as you well know. If you have to spend 1,000 years to conquer the galaxy, to own it for like 20 years, worth it. Just kidding. freaking miserable, guys. And the interesting parts to me, which I don't really know, like what version are we getting? So in the books, in the Legends series, he actually for at least one book, he went and he was like looking for ancient Sith knowledge, right? And so while he was looking for like these holocrons and exploring and stuff, hold on one sec, guys. Alright, I changed my light settings just subtly. I want to see how it ends up, what the end result looks like. You guys can give me feedback. Of course, just the warmth of the lighting. Anyways, he goes to a planet where he's looking for ancient Sith knowledge, and there's these creatures called orbalisks that latch onto his body, and they won't leave his body, but they also won't kill him, and they turn into just this crazy armor that's impervious to lightsabers or blasters or anything. And the problem, of course, is that it's really painful, and it slowly just takes over your entire body, and you like mobility goes away, and I don't know, it's just pretty scary, and it's hard for people not to notice, which you don't want to be noticed if you're one of the only 2 Sith Lords in the entire galaxy. And so I would be interested to see if they put the Orbalisk armor on you. That's the picture in the bottom left corner there, guys. And then his apprentice is named Darth Zana, and apparently she was super duper hot. So that's pretty good, I guess. Was she as good as Rose's hot sister? No one can tell, but what we do know is that she's not canon either at all. So Darth Zana, probably no more. All right, let's go to something that's maybe a little more hot topic here. Hot topic, like Bastila. But we have C3PO got nerfed in the raid. And a lot of people were relying on C3PO to be able to get some insane scores. They'd be like, all right, we'll send C3PO with Piet, and we'll send him with Han Solo, and we'll send him with Scout Trooper, and we'll send him with Leia. And I'm just making these up. I don't know if these are good teams or not. I've been struggling to move forward with the raid and planning for it because I didn't know what the best strategy was. Because up till now, the best overall, if you want the best score, at least with a limited roster, if you don't have like a billion GP, you wanted to use C3PO with most of the teams because he wouldn't die, and then he could come back. And so they took him away from the pacifist rule, which, I mean, that makes sense to me because they gave him the ability to actually shoot his speeder, which, I mean, you really can't think too hard about the truth of this. At least the Krayt Dragon raid is like, yeah, all those guys, if in the right circumstances, would probably stand and fight against a Krayt Dragon. In this one, it's like Pietz just exits his ship. He's like, oh, I'll be back. Like, I'm gonna hand command of the fleet over to someone so I can get on a speeder bike and hunt my own people, just for fun on Endor. Like, maybe I'll join some Ewoks and a droid. I don't know. Maybe some troopers will help me. It's just, you can't think about the logic of it, folks. It's not a thing. But C3PO, there's been this weird thing where, why are some of our uniques coming through in this game? Like, why does Han shoot first? I'm not complaining that Han shoots first. I don't think that's unbalancing for the game, but why does he shoot his speeder first? Like, that, it doesn't seem like all uniques should transfer. And this is another one that C3PO, they gave him the ability to shoot his speeder, which makes really no sense, but they gave him that ability. But then they also gave him the pacifist, and I'm pretty sure once you do some kind of violence of any sort, you're not a pacifist anymore, or at least like when you're going in, you're like, okay, I'll shoot a speeder one time. Oh shoot, I'm appalled at what I did. I'm a pacifist again. If you go in 7 or 8 times, you're like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Oops, I'll never again. Oh, yep, gonna jump right in here and do the exact same thing like a minute later. Like, he's not a pacifist. I don't know. I realize that people are frustrated with this on some levels. And, you know, like smaller guilds would probably love to lean on this to get way higher raid scores. And I don't want to discount that, guys. I'm sorry that happened. I mean, I'm not apologizing for CG. I feel bad that they gave you false hope, because I don't think there was ever any chance they wanted that to happen. I don't think they intended for it to happen. And I think they even tested the raid a lot. I think there was just, their testing environment was something where they just had unlimited use of all the characters, and they just didn't really notice that he would escape, is my best guess. Who knows? And, you know, I know that they test things less than we would all prefer, and that's frustrating. I think in this case, it just really sucks because people got their hopes up, and now we don't get it. But I mean, think of how little money CG was making off of this. Like, if someone could just be like, oh yeah, okay, I just got like a couple characters that are pretty good, and then I just moved C3PO up to Relic 8, and that's it. That's what we've got. Those are my teams. It's just C3PO with like 7 other characters. I'm not saying that that's not how it should be. I'm saying I don't think there was ever any hope that CG was going to be benevolent and kind like that. They've been better at giving us like additive drops, bonus things, double drops, all that stuff. This year they've been fairly generous. In fact, I don't think they're that generous though. They want us to waste our money on this raid as much as we can, and, you know, or at least our resources. And C3PO was just like this blanket, hey, here's a second or third character for every squad that you don't have to do. So I'm sorry. I wish that hadn't happened. I know that some guilds would prefer. I will say congratulations to those who are now free from the burden of having to do multiple resets every single run because of C3PO not escaping in time. And you're like, oh well, I can't possibly complete the raid when C3PO's dead. You just have to keep resetting. Congratulations on being freed from that, folks. All right, let's move right along, shall we? So, what is this is probably the more grating thing to me personally. What's this raid doing to our rosters? And I mean, that's the same with the Crate Dragon raid and on some levels, but this one is even weirder because at least in the Crate Dragon raid, it's like, all right, you have specific squads that you're working on. All these characters are probably all gonna work together at some point, you know, like, okay, let's work on Jawas. They didn't get great scores, but okay, that's one squad. Tuscans, you work on the full squad and you get rewarded for it. Old Republic, a little bit more tenuous, but still a lot of them, the Jedi at least, are linked. And you know, they're all the Mandalorians. They're all characters and teams that you worked on. They're all linked. And this one is weird because C3PO can hang out with some Imperial troopers or like Wicket and an Imperial trooper, or, you know, like just some weird conglomeration. And like, it doesn't really matter what characters you're working on. And all of this to say that CG is like kind of programmed us, guys, to the point where at least with the needle moving, like they're always the goalposts moving. I mean, this is a game where the goalposts have to move, right? Like that's just what they do. That's what CG does, and that's fine. I get, like, we have all kind of accepted that on some level. Like, it's all just a rat race. We're never gonna catch up by design, but like CG doesn't want us to catch up, and we have to make our peace with that if we're gonna play this game long term, I think. But at least if they move the goalposts and like, oh, you need the new Galactic Legend, at least then you get something, you know, you get a Galactic Legend. This one is just every few months CG gets to say, all right, work on all these random, like, kind of arbitrarily chosen characters, or you don't get stuff anymore. Like, we're cutting you off. You know, get a job, son, or you're cut off. And that's basically what it is just an ultimatum. They're just like, hey, we're gonna just hit the reset button on this game mode, and you have to scramble to get everyone geared up. And we don't even get anything for it. At least we used to get Traya for it to unlock it, or, you know, General Kenobi or Raid Han. And now what do we get? I mean, we don't even increase our income levels. It's just, we're not screwed. It's painful. I see. So you guys know my Crate Expectations co-host Sarah, and she resisted getting Gideon for a long time. He was geared 11 just like a couple weeks ago, and now she suddenly has a Relic 8 Moff Gideon. She's never gonna use Moff Gideon. She doesn't care about him. She doesn't care about PvP, and that's not a slide on her. It's just, I don't have a Relic 8 Moff Gideon. Like, I have a big account. I spend a lot of money on this game. I don't have a Relic 8 Moff Gideon. He's not necessary, but he is for this raid. You know, the last thing she said to me about her upgrades for this was, I was going to put Relic 8 on another character, but I realized I don't have enough Electriums, and so, she's called them Toonies, by the way, but, so, what I realized, I could throw on some relics onto Akbar, another character. She's definitely, no one uses Akbar. It's just, like, what are they doing to our rosters where we can just arbitrarily, I mean, and that's no slight on her, she's just trying to help the guild, and everyone should be doing some version of that. It's just, we're not even building specific teams. We're just throwing relics on arbitrary characters and moving on. And I a little bit resent that, if I'm being honest. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? I would love to hear your comments. All right, so let's go watch some Malgus, guys. Yeah, this is pretty epic. Wow. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, watch, I put it on 1x speed. We're taking on a Zori team. I don't know if it works in 5s. I just used some, like, you know, okay Sith Empire characters. And watch this, guys. This is pretty awesome. Relic 7, Finn. Just one shot. Oh, it's lovely. Isn't that majestic? His air time, his hang time at 1x speed is just right there, guys. And what we'll get to, he's gonna try it again. Let's see what his next attempt is all about here. And honestly, I'm wondering, this is my first try, I'm wondering if we could just do a solo with him versus like a 3v3 Zori team, because I don't think they can do enough damage to kill him. Maybe to incapacitate. I'm not really sure. I'd be interested to see, well, you know, how much of an impact. Yeah, okay, let's 1x speed. Can we do it? Ah, we did it again. And it makes, I don't know, it's just pretty epic. I don't, is that a good price to pay for it? Like, we kill Zori? I don't know if that's worth it, guys. I'm not telling you yes or no that it's like the best thing ever. I do love the majesty of his destructionating of her. So, all right, yeah. Well, more footage to come, guys. If you try this, make it 1x speed. I'm gonna make a place that you guys can upload your videos. I'm gonna make this huge montage of him just floating in, descending in like the monster he is, and cleaving his foes asunder. We'll just make a montage of him just destroying, one-shotting people. It'll be epic. Alright, Lightspeed bundles are coming here, and I don't have a ton to say about this, to be honest. I think it's great. Bando has been around for at least 2 years now. He's going to be here. It looks like maybe Phoenix are going to get a boost. I'm curious to see if Old Man Rex is going to be part of that, if we get it. And, a lot of people are like, man, it sucks because I don't want to farm these characters. Like, I know that one of my buddies, Dismas, I'm just calling him out here. No, he got Rey right before the Lightspeed bundles came out. And then everyone's like, oh, well, I got my Rey for $10. He's like, yeah, I spent months farming worthless characters and their gear. And it just feels unsafe, kind of, to gear some of these characters and stuff when you could just spend $10. Like, of course, I'm pretty sure he would have spent $10 for that much effort. And I guess I'll say this, guys, that does suck. You're not going to be able to find someone who, yeah, that sucks. I think that there's a lot of people that it just gets, they get screwed. You get shafted. I'm sorry. I don't want that for you. I also think that we need catch-up mechanics kind of like this. I don't know if them charging money for catch-up mechanics is really the most amazing way forward. Like, you see a lot of evidence of people doing that at the low tiers, but not everyone is doing it, and it's only for 1 week. If someone who's pretty casual was like, yeah, I'd spend $10 in this game to get a Galactic Legend, spend $20 for 2, sure. They might have just missed it. They might have just not even noticed that was a thing. So, I don't know. Bando, that's a cool one though. I'm fine with that for 20 bucks. It's fine. Phoenix, that's another one that they're very relevant now. And yeah, I think the Lightspeed bundles are fine. I think where I draw the line is, it's kind of like, did I spend money to unlock Supreme Leader Kylo and Rey? Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it that well though, and I think that that's probably part of it, is like, if I don't remember, if it's long ago enough that I don't remember what money I spent on it, that feels like, okay, yeah, like people can just have that for virtually free, because I don't remember, and we need new players to have hope when they join the game. A lot of new players just go to the Discord server where people sell their accounts, and just buy a big account anyways, because they don't want to spend years trying to catch up. I mean, that's totally what I would do if I was to start a new game. There's just no way I would start a new account, a brand new account. Like, it would just take too long to get into the end game where I was facing people who actually had any skill. So, I don't know, but Lightspeed bundles keep marching along. With data mines for a bunch of them, or at least the pictures for a lot of them. I guess let's just see what happens, guys. Like, people keep asking me, do you want an Afra bundle? And I think no. I would be so annoyed. People are ignoring Afra so hard. I don't want them to be rewarded for that, because I'm not ignoring her. I don't want other people to be rewarded for slovenly laziness. Just kidding. You guys aren't slovenly. You are lazy, however. Let's, okay, finally, folks, when can we expect new Bo-Katan and Cal? And first up, I think Cal, we keep getting all these packs and bundles and stuff. I've said it from the very beginning. I think that we're going to get Jedi Cal for Christmas. I think they're gonna re-release him at Christmas so we can unlock him. Remember, you only need Gear 12 on the requirements. Yes, that's still a great amount of Kyrotech. That's 300 on each character. There's no denying that expense. It's a lot. But they're all, 3 of them are characters you're gonna really want to use a lot. And I'm getting a lot of use out of Tarful actually on defense for a few different teams. So I guess just, I think it's gonna be Christmas. I've said it from the beginning, honestly, from a long time ago. Like, his event was re-released 4 months after the first event. Now, Christmas would be 6 months, and I think that they do 6 months, and then I think they do 9 months, and then he'll go into the journey guide and not leave once you hit 12 months. The new Bo-Katan is a little bit harder to predict. I think that she's going to, and this is just speculation on my end, but my guess is that she is going to be permanently in the journey guide from day one, just like Bando, just like Starkiller, and just like Afra. I think that's where she's going. Like, that's her release slot. That's what she's gonna be, and I think it'll be. So I think it'll be in like 2 weeks, frankly. I mean, that's Christmas as well. Maybe it'll be run concurrently with the Cal re-release, or maybe it'll be like the week after, but that's my prediction, is that she will be released right around that time, because if she's permanently in the journey guide, then the people who are soft whaling will still have the incentive to rush and get her to the point, get her done, and the people who are long-term can actually just, I mean, most people are just gonna ignore her, I guess, and maybe I will too. I don't know, not my main account certainly, but we'll see, guys. Paz looks like he's gonna be worth farming regardless, to be honest, but I mean, I said that about Hondo and no one's followed suit, so I don't know, guys. But anyways, that's essentially it. I'm excited to see what the new Bo-Katan kit's gonna be like. The Kelleran Beck kit looks really nice. It all looks nice, folks. The game's in a good place. I think the raid kind of annoys me. Obviously, we were talking about that, but we'll move past it, folks. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on any of these topics, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.